Aloha! What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is I am the one and only Jewel here, and I am from the likes of the Maxi Toys videos once again. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our another redo Let's Play for the Maxi Toys YouTube channel, alongside with these other new Let's Plays, like for instance Banjo-Tooie, along with Warrior Land 3, that has recently came up recently. But now, here we are on the GameCube system once again, and this time we're going to be hit on to yet another Mario Party redo Let's Play. And as a result, the main plot in this game this time around is the fact that we ended up in a Mario Party world, and basically Mario and the gang are having a chat while they managed to stumble across two new characters, which there are Brighton and Twyla, which are both Sun and Moon related characters, which it almost kind of reminds me of the forms of Princess Celestia and Princess Luna, for the sake of the forms of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic show. And also, this particular plot does remind me of a similar vibe. If you guys have ever played Kirby Superstar before, that if you stumbled across Milky Way Wishes sub-game, that the Sun and Moon are actually having a fight against each other, and it's up to Kirby to able to stop the argument and all that stuff. Which, this game does remind me of a similar plot, but more accurately, the ultimate goal remains is obviously obtaining the stars to able to actually stop this whole entire chaos of argument and all that stuff. So, yeah, that pretty much summarized the whole entire plot in this particular installment of this Mario Party game. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, we'll present to you our redo Let's Play of Mario Party 6, released for the Nintendo GameCube in 2004 for Japan and North America. However though, that the European version didn't came out in 2004, because that came out in 2005. So it's like a year later kind of syndrome, which that was before when Mario Party 7 was a thing, and also Mario Party Island Tour was a thing as well, to able to actually just releasing those separate years in between. At least depending on what regions you lived in. So either way, and yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to able to doing this game again for the sake of you guys out there. And for those of you able to actually not notice already, is the fact that we've already done this back in 2012, but of course much like in Mario Party 4 and 5, those Let's Plays are no longer there, including the original Let's Play of this as well, mainly due to the forms of bad quality for this crappy camera recording, and also to top it off, really awful commentary at the same time. So either way though, but here we are now in 2021 still, which today's date is of course the 4th of September today, so I just want to let you guys know about this already. So yeah, hopefully the quality should be a lot more better than the forms of how it does it back in 2012. So either way though, yeah, let's get started with Mario Party 6. So as you can tell, that we actually got ourselves 6 modes to interact with. There's the usual party mode, the minigame mode, and the option menu, as well as the forms of the solo mode, which actually replaces the story mode from the ever since 4 and 5, but now it usually calls this solo mode. And there's also from that, we also have 2 new modes, which we have mic mode and star bank, which we'll get to these other modes in a later time, because for now, obviously the main focus in the beginning of this Let's Play at the moment is obviously the party mode, much like the forms of any other Mario Party Let's Plays in the past. So yeah, you probably get the gist of it. So anyway, let's hop right into party mode. And basically there's no point in telling us the how to play video right here, because for those of you who've seen the previous Mario Party Let's Plays before, you know exactly how this sounds. So anyway, we actually have ourselves 6 boards to interact with. There is the forms of Towering Treetop, as you can see, and also we've got ourselves EGAT's Garage, and also we've got ourselves Fair Square, and also we've got Snowflake Lake, and also Castaway Bay. So those are the only 5 boards you get from the get-go, but there's also the 6th board, which appears to be Clockwork Castle. And this is the unlockable board, by the way, and to unlock that, you must pay 100 stars in the Star Bank, which I'll talk more about it until later, because obviously the main focus for this first part of the playthrough is of course going to the first board in the game, known as Towering Treetop. So yeah, that should be pretty standard stuff for the most part. Now of course we're gonna always set this onto 20 turn game, and of course much like in Mario Party 4 and 5, you can either set it into Battle Royale or Team Match, but obviously I'm gonna be focusing on Team Battle Royale thing from now on. And also, you know, 20 turns has been equipped and also all of the minigame types, and also bonus stars turned on. So I'll explain more about it until later. And of course I'm going to be playing this by my own, just because unfortunately Blue is not with me at the moment, so oh well, no big deal. So we'll just continue. So as far as character roster in Mario Party 6 is concerned, well, obviously it feels kind of almost exactly the same, aside from a newcomer introduced, which I'll explain more than in a second. So we still have the usual 10 playable characters ever since in Mario Party 5, like Mario, Luigi, Peach, Yoshi, Wario, Daisy, Waluigi, Toad, Boo, Koopa Kid, also known as Mini Bowser in Europe. So, and we also, as you can see on screen, we have ourselves the 11th character, and this appears to be the new playable character. That appears to be Toadette. And by the way, Toadette is actually first appeared in is Mario Kart Double Dash. So I just want to let you guys know about that. So yeah, that seems pretty cool though. And in order to be able to unlock Toadette though, is that you have to purchase her in the bank, the Star Bank mode. And I think you have to pay for about 30 stars. So, at least as far as I'm guessing it correctly. So, and of course, much like always, I'm going to be selecting Toad in the first board anyway, much like Mario Party 5, and also Mario Party DS, and even Mario Party 9, Island Tour, 10, Star Rush, you name it. And of course, we'll go for these computer players into normal mode, because I just don't feel like getting butt kicked after all. Well, at least sometimes, as far as I'm aware. So, and there's also the forms of the 4th CPU difficulty select, which appears to be brutal difficulty, which, again, I'll talk more about that whenever we get onto the next few boards later on. So, either way though, but of course we're going to be still uploading these as in weekends video uploading schedules, as far as you might as well know it already, so anyways, let's get started with Mario Party 6 for the Nintendo GameCube. So, and of course, I would like to be able to select yes, but I'll explain more details about the board whenever we dive right in. So, of course, much like the forms of the previous games, you're still going to be doing a dice turn order, which, as you can see, Peach is going first, Waluigi is in second, and I'm going to be in third, and also Boo is going to be last. So, and as always, 10 coins to start with, so pretty standard stuff for the most part. And of course, before we dive right in, that Brighton is going to tell us where the first star space is going to be located. And as always, 20 coins is the key to winning when it comes to purchasing stars. So, yeah, pretty standard stuff for the most part. Except the fact that whenever we move on to the next few boards, that it does offer us some bit of a different gimmicks to it, or different objectives of any sorts, which we'll talk more about those in the future. So anyway, and as you can see, if you're familiar with Mario Party 1 all the way up to Mario Party 5, those spaces do make a comeback ever since in the forms of the past few games, which I'll explain more about it when it gets to my turn. So in this case though, that I'll be getting things started here. So yeah, for those spaces, blue spaces still gives you 3 coins, red spaces still takes away coins, and there's also the exclamation marks, or no, question mark spaces, which are known as, you know, action spaces this time around, as opposed to happening spaces, as you can tell, and as a result, that's, well, I'll explain more about it until any moment's notice. And also DK spaces do make a return ever since in Mario Party 5, and also Bowser spaces do make a comeback, and even dual spaces make a return ever since in Mario Party 5. And now they managed to become its own space, rather than capsule-based ones. And also the chance time spaces does make a return, but now calls it miracle spaces somehow. And there's also some other side of things, is that we actually got ourselves some new stuff that's added to the table. Like, for instance, we have ourselves these little orb-like passing, traversing kind of spaces, as you can see. And basically, every time you bypass one of those little orb transpassing stuff, basically that gives you an orb for free. So yes, orbs are equivalent to capsules from the likes of Mario Party 5. So yeah, basically it'll function kind of the same thing, except now that's rather than becoming a little bit more random and luck-based this time around, which is a good thing. And also the item shops do make a return ever since in Mario Party 2, 3, and 4, not 5 mind you, because it's been replaced by a capsule machine, and you can get those for free, but it's incredibly random depending on what items you get. So, actually, I'll get into more details about that later, because here we go on to the first minigame in Mario Party 6, odd card out. Seems like a very simple minigame. Find a card that's different than the others and press the correct button first to earn a point. Earn 2 points to win. So basically you just have to press X, B, or, well, X, B, or A to able to actually figure out what the actual odd card is. So, even though this minigame does remind me of MPIQ from Mario Party 3, except nowhere near as, like, frustrating this time around. So yeah, that's something worth knowing for. So, at least I kind of prefer this minigame over a bit more than MPIQ though, to me though anyway, just because sometimes I feel like that minigame can drag on if you manage to able to get into the later turns, so... Ah, dang it, that was the wrong one. Dang it. And yeah, much like MPIQ though, from Mario Party 3, if you get the question wrong, then obviously you get stunned for a few moments notice until you go to the next turn and stuff like that. So, I think, yeah, Waluigi got this one, so... So anyway, as far as the actual orb system in this game, as I said before, it functions kind of the same thing as in the capsule system for the sake of Mario Party 5, except now that it doesn't feel completely chaotic this time around, which I'm glad the actual item system was fixed this time around, and especially it really helps that the item shop is now brought back since Mario Party 4. And it functions the same thing as it does it previously. So, yeah, no need to able to worry about the forms of random, like, capsule machine things or anything else like that. And especially it really helps that, you know, coins are still applied to able to actually purchase items again. So, and also, as you can see, what Peach has managed to able to use is the regular mushroom capsule, or the mushroom orb as what it's known in here now. And basically, you don't need to worry about paying coins to able to use the items from yourself. So, and also, as you can tell, is the fact that these orbs are actually like retains colored-based orbs, which can be signified as in the forms of those different items based off from what different attributes they're in. Well, I'll talk more about that until in the future though. Well, specifically whenever we get onto the halfway point in certain boards, mainly with like this board for instance, which I'll explain more about it until later. So anyway, let's see if we can get ourselves, ooh, a 9. Seems like a cool number in Fury. Oh, and also the main huge emphasis on this game though, as you can tell, is the day and night system. Remember the forms of the day and night system that technically does return, well, at least ever since in only one board in Mario Party 2 called Horrorland. And that board does manage to also has the day and night cycle. But the thing is, the difference is this time around, for the sake of this game, along with Mario Party 2, is that the fact that, well, every time when 3 turns is up, let's just say, for example, in this game with the day-night system, if these 3 turns are already up and finished, they'll switch it over to the nighttime. And because of that, though, actually, I'll get into more now in a second, because here we go with another new minigame we can play, and that's what appears to be Snow World. So, that seems kind of interesting. So, press the buttons in order to spin your snowboard in midair. Whoever pulls off the biggest spin wins. And this minigame will make a comeback in Mario Party the Top 100, so just want to let you guys know about that. Especially that until when it gets to the point until next month, that Mario Party Superstars for the Nintendo Switch is approaching. So even then though, still excited for that game, even though we were expecting we can able to do that game as a Let's Play for the sake of this year, but unfortunately though, we have to wait for a bit longer, mainly due to the fact that we need to work on, you know, this at the moment, along with Mario Party 7 and Mario Party 8, and then if we manage to caught up on the actual rest of the series, then we can finally get into the forms of Mario Party Superstars for, of course, the Nintendo Switch. So, don't know when that's going to be though exactly, but we do know it's going to be on 2022, along with Mario Party 7 and Mario Party 8, but for now on those, need to pull off these little tricks, which I will have to admit though right away, I'm not exactly great at this minigame though, mainly due to the forms of the button layouts and all that stuff. Although, because I'm usually accustomed to the forms of the 3DS counterpart of this minigame, in this case the top 100 version I should say, that because usually those full-faced buttons doesn't go oddly shaped or anything else like that, they're pure simple, but that was the only version I'm usually used to at this point, so yeah, I have to admit though right away. So Anyway, also, along the same boat is the fact that we've only got about 20 days left until the next movie is about to be on its way onto Netflix. That's what appears to be My Little Pony: A New Generation, which is of course Generation 5. So yeah, I'm optimistic to able to actually see how that film's gonna turn out to be. Especially notable that since that, according to the actual artifacts for certain Wikipedias and stuff like that, that it will take place somewhat years after the forms of Friendship is Magic era. So at least I'm pretty dang excited to see how that's gonna turn out, especially on Netflix exclusive. So Anyway, as you can see, I've managed to able to use my Super Shroom Orb, which is basically the equivalent to Super Mushroom Capsule for Mario Party 5. That basically gives you 3 dice blocks, so you probably get the gist of it. So, and also some of these items you might be familiar with from the previous game Mario Party 5 make a return here. Some exceptions, mind you, which I'll probably discuss more about until later. So yeah, there's my very first star in Mario Party 6 I've managed to purchase. It's a good thing I did manage to get ourselves a pretty decent number rolls for those 3 dice blocks in particular, but regardless of everything else though, it's okay for the most part. So yeah, we've seen the Mushroom Orb, which functions the same thing as the regular Mushroom from the likes of Mario Party 2 and 3, and also Mario Party 5. And even the Mega Mushroom from Mario Party 4, that this allows you to able to have 2 dice blocks as what Boo just managed to able to use earlier. So, maybe seems pretty handy though, if you really want to caught up with the actual, like, you know, star space you really want to catch up on. So, yeah, that seems totally obvious, so... And of course, Boo managed to land on the red space, which is kind of unfortunate for him. But regardless of such though, we can able to go into 1 vs 3 minigame. So, speaking of such, we have the Crate and Peril. Kind of a cool minigame, I'm not gonna lie. So, one player holds a box containing the other 3 players and tips it to try to hit them with Spinies. So this minigame will also make a comeback in Mario Party the Top 100. And thank God, no need for motion gyroscope controls, thank goodness for that. Because unlike the Top 100 version of this minigame, at least if you're in a team of 1, you have to deal with gyro sensor controls. And that can be kind of gimmicky of any sort. But at least in this game in particular, this is a variation of Crate and Peril, and you can at least manage to able to use the control stick at least. So, yeah, I do apologize for the actual something more accurately like a commentary mistakes, but regardless of everything else though, that's as far as I can say in terms of Mario Party 6. Well, aside from the forms of, I haven't mentioned about quite a lot on the day and night system completely, because you see, unlike in Mario Party 2 in Horrorland, that if 2 turns are up, then basically that depending if it's either day or night, that if it's day and if it goes like 2 turns have been finished, basically it'll, you know, go into nighttime, so certain things will change depending if it's either day or night. So as a result, that in Mario Party 6, that, as you can tell, since that these 3 turns has already been finished, as you can see, we're now on to nighttime version of this particular board. So certain stuff will happen based off from day and night. So in this case, that's, oh boy, we got ourselves some sort of, like a mini Woody or something like that. But, we'll point things out in just a moment, because, well, obviously that, oh yeah, let's talk about the forms of, well, several elements of, you know, the day and night system functions. Well, you notice about the fact that I've already shown you guys briefly about the DK spaces. Well, those DK spaces are only accessible if it's daytime. However, in nighttime, it changes into Bowser spaces. I mean, what is this, like Sonic Unleashed all over again? Whenever it's like daytime, then Sonic will become the Hedgehog form. And of course, when he goes to nighttime, then he'll transform into the Werehog. So yeah, it's kind of similar. And also similar thing for how it does in Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. That game also has a day and night system as well. So yeah, there's quite a lot of stuff that is usually day and night system cycle through, which that seems pretty cool enough. And unfortunately I've landed on the red space though, which just kind of sucks for me. But regardless of everything else though, I can at least, surely I can try to able to get, you know, more coins for winning certain minigames as far as you already know. So Okay, so here we go on to this next minigame, Search and Destroy. And this might be the one of those minigames that I'll explain in a second. 3 players scramble to dodge the high voltage electrical orb, guided by the solo player. And this is one of those minigames that you have to use 2 analog sticks, meaning that you have to use the GameCube control stick and the C stick at the same time. So this is going to be one of those emphases that you have to use dual control sticks this time around, which I know they'll continue that until Mario Party 7, but for this game in particular, it does have some quite a few minigames that heavily utilizes like this, so yeah, that's all to expect. And if you manage to get hit by the actual electrical stuff, then you get stunned for a few moments notice, but if you get touched by the actual electrical orb itself, basically the team of 3 will be out of the game, so yeah, that's something worth noting for. And also, if you couldn't tell, this is the PAL version of this game, by the way. Every time whenever you win a minigame, that the actual font might actually have ourselves a different size font that I'll explain more about in a second. Because, well, at least assuming if we get onto the next minigame. So yeah, as you can see, that since that this is nighttime of, you know, Towering Treetop, well, nothing changes drastically apart from several spots. That's usually that pink flower is now closed in the nighttime, although in daytime it will open up, so that way you can able to actually go onto the left side or the far left side of the board. And during the nighttime though, in the purple blue flower, basically it all bloom up, or in this case, well, just opened up. However though, if it's daytime, it will close, and then basically you get yourselves a quicker way to able to actually go into the actual boards themselves. And also, as you notice, there's actually one of those some emphasis on certain boards. Like for example, in one of those 2 boards in this game, Towering Treetop and Castaway Bay, they might actually feature the actual recognizable coin stealing and star stealing thing from ever since in the past. Meaning that there's going to be a pink boo. That it kind of feels like the equivalent to, you know, boo stealing thing for the sake of Mario Party 1 all the way up to Mario Party 4, and the chain jump for the sake of Mario Party 5. However, the biggest difference is now, well, I'll get into more about it until later on. So, oh yes, this is an awesome minigame in this game. Gornet Getaway. I really wish that this will make a return in the top 100, but sadly not. Run away from the massive rolling boulder. Whoever reaches the goal without getting squished wins. So yeah, this minigame is pretty awesome though. And I'm not exactly sure if this minigame will make a comeback in Mario Party Superstars. But we'll find out soon enough until, you know, next month or 2. So either way though. And also another thing, oh goodness gracious, no! Ah, dang it! I completely forgot about the forms if you can't change directions in mid-air after that jump. Ah, that was bad, that was a really bad mistake right there I just made. But regardless of such though, let's see how the other 3 are doing. Looks like they're not doing too bad though, I don't think. Even then though, that boo almost fell off the bridge. Oh, and another thing is worth noting for is the fact that this is the first ever Nintendo GameCube game to able to support one of those weird GameCube accessories, which is known as the Nintendo GameCube mic, which I'll talk more about that until later, because we have a first tie. Because at the end of the day, that I'm pretty sure the rest of us have been got squashed, so. And also, if those of you haven't played the English version of Mario Party 6, you do realize is that the minigame announcer is actually sounding a lot more different this time around, because it's now a male voice, as opposed to in Mario Party 1 through 5, female voice. Unless, if you guys who haven't played the Japanese version of this game, along with Mario Party 7, that it still retains their female voice, as you remember from Mario Party 4 and 5. So, yeah, that's something worth noting for. Oh boy, we got ourselves our first Bowser minigame in Mario Party 6. Oh boy, let's see what we're gonna be playing. Dark and Crispy. Okay. Seems like an intimidating minigame to say the least. Bowser is lurking in the darkness. Avoid him and his fire-breathing attack. Fall and it's game over. So you have to avoid let's just say 3 things actually. One, like for one, can't afford able to fall off the edge, and also don't get hit by Bowser, of course, and of course you have to worry about the forms of not getting hit by his fire breathing attack, as you can see on screen. And as you can tell, that Boo instantly falls off, so yeah, just have to be very careful. Well, luckily you got yourselves a spotlight, so you can keep in track of the forms of the actual, like, some light involved, but yeah, just be very careful and not to able to get, you know, nerve-wracked or anything else like that. So, now of course that Bowser will still screw you up on certain events, like for instance, you know, Bowser bonus, which this time around is actually a little bit more balanced. Like, for instance, you remember any forms of in Mario Party 5? That's, well, assuming if you're able to actually, ooh. Okay, so it's all orbs then. So, while I was the only one hasn't got any single orbs yet, well, I've used one of them since the very beginning of this board. So, something more likely a coincidence thing anyway. And it looks like Waluigi's gonna go after his first star after all, so lucky for him anyway. So, yeah, anyway, yeah, you remember how in the forms of in the Bowser bonus event in Mario Party 5, that assuming if someone gets a star, basically that if the Bowser bonus is a thing, what happens is that Bowser will take a star away from you, or take a star from you. And as a result, it become a bit too much for able to actually gain that risk. However, in Mario Party 6, they managed to fix that and able to actually add it in not only just the stars, but also coins this time around. So, yeah, that seems pretty well balanced in particular. So, yeah, that seems cool enough. It's kind of hard to decide able to actually which way I want to go, but I'm not actually trying to able to go ahead and land on the happening space because obviously the bonus stars is still a thing in this game. However though, if you're following through our Let's Play of Mario Party 5, that what Mighty the Armadillo already tackled through, you do realize is the fact that he already mentioned about that one specific bonus star is now being replaced in this game, which that will have to be by the forms of well, remember the forms of the coin star from Mario Party 1 all the way up to Mario Party 5? Well, in Mario Party 6 and onwards, it's now been replaced. Well, specifically in this game in particular, the coin star is now being replaced as in orb stars, which in order to get the orb star, you have to use quite a lot of orbs. You have to use it for God knows, as in the actual character trap or character space, or certain traps, or even certain items you can use it for yourself. So, yeah, that seems kind of a knowledgeable moment's notice. And it looks like, okay, so Boo's gonna land on the blue space, of course, so that seems alright for me. Alright, let's see. Once again, we are playing 1 versus 3 again, so yeah, to be expected by this point. In fact, we played 2 of these at the moment, so Popstar seems like a pretty simple, easy minigame of any sorts, at least for the team of 1 anyway. So, 1 player swings a hammer, while the other 3 ground pound to blow up a balloon. Whoever pops their balloon first wins. And basically, since if you're in the team of 3, like I am with Waluigi and Peach, I'm gonna have to do a lot of ground pounding for those little pumping things itself. And meanwhile, for the team of 1, as what Boo is doing right now, he's probably gonna be using his hammer for able to do pretty much the same thing. So, yeah, you probably get the gist of it. So, but also certain minigames do actually have some emphasis on day and night system as well, which seems pretty cool in theory. Now, some people seem to say that out of all the actual GameCube Mario Party installments, this one will have to be the best, mainly because they added in something unique to the table. And also, as you see on this little font size from these little character names specifically, it only happens in the PAL version of the game, because unlike the American version of Mario Party 6, any character names on their victory fanfare, basically they're all like capitals, whilst compared to the PAL version of the game, as what the version I'm playing for you guys, is that it does have a first name as a capital letter, and then the rest of the actual letters are actually small fonts. So, something you need to keep that in track though, especially noticeable for certain comparisons in between 3 versions of several other, like, you know, I just get confused right now, because I know it has been... I think the last time I actually did touch this game, it was about a year ago, mainly due to the fact that I was literally so close to able to actually just do 100% everything in the game. Although, sure enough, there are still some items I still need to purchase, though, throughout the whole game, which I'll talk more about that in the future, though. So, anyway, let's see what's, ooh, ouch. Waluigi gets a red space, and we're on turn 7, so, I think it's about time to able to actually, like, if I could have get a 1, I'll be screwed, because otherwise Peach might able to get the star, but, let's see, oh yeah, I forgot about these, happening spaces in this board. One of them, as you can see, there you can able to actually interact with the actual fluff, or in this case, like a dandelion you can able to ride on, and basically it takes you to certain random spots. And another happening space, as you, saw for about a few moments notice, is that, depending if it's either day or night, basically it's the fact that, Woody or Mean Woody were able to actually, like, if it's daytime, the nice Woody were able to give us some coins, and then if it's nighttime in Mean Woody's, perspective, basically it takes away your coins. So, yeah, that's something worth noting for. So, and another happening space that you might actually notice is that with the actual beehive section, well, and if you ever land on the action space, or the happening space for that matter, the bees were able to sting you, and depending on how many bees they show up, they'll sometimes take away your coins. Like, if it could be either be 1, if it's like 1 bee, and vice versa. So, yeah, you probably know what I'm going to be trying to say about this. And another happening space, which actually involves around a button masher. So because of that, though, we'll show it off by then. So anyway, now the next star is going to be right near to the pink Boo house. So, and by the way, something worth noting for is that the pink Boo houses on one of those 2 boards only be accessible in night, because obviously Boos, or any ghosts for that matter, does not like daylight at all. So yeah, this makes perfect sense, at least from my knowledge anyway. So alright, we're on to 2 versus 2 now, and basically we are going on to Clean Team. So team up with a partner to fight Window Grim. The first team to clean all the muck off their windows wins. So yeah, I do apologize for the actual instructions error, but that's only because, well, if you couldn't tell already, I've almost felt a little bit tired today, but I'm still fine as it is, but I need to keep myself awake for a bit. So, and of course I'm going to be teaming up with Peach, of course. Yeah, it seems like a very cool minigame. And it does manage to take place in some sort of like a 2.5D perspective right there, which it seems totally obvious. So, anyway, yeah, as I said this before about the fact the matter is though, is that, usually with the day and night, system, is the fact that some of minigames do manage to able to have, well, some minigames do have their different objectives on certain minigames. Well, not all of them, mind you. They're all just like, different visual identity. Like, for instance, that this is the daytime version of Clean Team, as you can see. Like, it's all bright and everything. But then if you ever play this minigame as in nighttime, the visuals might actually start to change a bit. Which, I do like that specific variety when it comes to the forms of several minigames worth noting for, which, it seems pretty cool though. So, of course, me and Peach managed to win this, after all, so, and of course, talking of which, when it comes to bonus stars in particular, you still retain minigame star, which is pretty standard stuff, and also you still retains the happening star, or specifically known as in this game, along with Mario Party 7, it now usually calls it action star as opposed to happening star, which I have no idea why they changed that name completely, but that's just how it usually goes. And yeah, that's as far as I can talk about in terms of Mario Party 6 in general, although aside from the fact that there are some few missing features I was going to be able to try to explain. But then again, I'll talk more about that whenever we get into the forms of, well, let's just say the halfway point in this first board here. So, oh yeah, talking of which though, is the fact that with those items in mind for the orb system, that much like the forms of Mario Party 5, they do have their different colored into them. Like, for instance, those mushrooms in particular, along with any other items as well, that they're all got, like, green-colored orbs, which actually represents you can able to actually use the items for yourself. And for those yellow orbs, as you can see, that I've managed to able to toss the Goomba orb onto one of those blue spaces, and as you can tell, the yellow orbs will actually represent character spaces, and as you can tell, I've accidentally landed on the Boo character space, and basically that actually triggers one of those events, like the Goomba orb. And thankfully, it's nowhere near as like nerve-wracking compared to Mario Party 5, because in Mario Party 5, that if you manage able to actually interact with the Goomba orb or Goomba capsule event, basically what that does is that actually managed to able to trade those coins, you know, kind of like the one of those segments in Chance Times and all that stuff, which thankfully, it's been replaced by, you know, investing coins you want to bet to able to give it to someone else. So, at least that's that. Alright, treasure trollers. Not too crazy with this minigame though, which I'll explain more about in a moment. But anyway, find and recover the sunken treasure chest on the sea floor. Your controller will rumble when you pass over a treasure chest. So yeah, much like in Mario Party 4 and Mario Party 5, there are a few minigames that does manage to utilize the GameCube's Rumble feature. Although, technically in Mario Party 5, managed able to have a lot of emphasis on GameCube Rumble feature for certain minigames, like, you know, Rumble Fumble, for example. Well, they managed to bring it back, but now they managed to able to actually feature, like, quite a few minigames like this, but Treasure Trollers is basically kind of reminds me of Rumble Fumble, along with another one of those minigames, which I'll show that off in the future. But for now on, though, we'll try to grab as many treasures as we could. But again, it's just I'm not a big fan of this minigame, though, honestly, just because of part of the fact that you have to be quite accurate when it comes to likely just dropping a crane, and then hopefully, God forbid, trying to able to get a treasure chest. Or there are some rare occasions where you might able to actually get the bob bomb instead. So. And unfortunately I've lost because somehow Waluigi got very lucky for his first treasure because he got a golden treasure chest, which meaning that he got incredibly lucky right there. But oh well, no big deal, but at least I still managed able to win certain minigames occasionally, so. Alright, so let's see what Peach is gonna use. She's probably gonna use her mushroom to able to boost up her, you know, movement speed and all that stuff though, which seems totally obvious. So, another thing is worth noting for is that with those red colored orbs, what that functions is the trap orbs. And basically, if you ever saw the some of these character icons manage to get themselves a transparency or something more like that, basically that if someone managed to able to almost passes that, basically that activates certain traps. Like one of them is actually a thwomp, which I'll discuss on that later. So, speaking of such, here's the first DK space in Mario Party 6. And functions the same thing as how it does in Mario Party 5. Like, basically, it can either give you certain events, like, for instance, DK bonus, which... Lucky Waluigi. He got a star from DK. Lucky you, skinny boy. Anyway, one of those events they include is DK bonus, which kind of does the same thing for how it does in Mario Party 5, like still give you coins and everything, but now they added in a star into the mix. So, yeah, that's something as you saw from earlier ago. So, and also another one of those events is DK minigame, which obviously gives you the ability to play DK minigames, which function kind of does the same thing for, you know, since Mario Party 5 and all that stuff, so no need to discuss on that front. So, anyway, so at least I've got myself the Mushroom Orb at least, so thankfully I could possibly try to catch up to this this next star as what Boo somehow skipped over, so it looks like Boo managed to place his spiny orb right next to my character space, so... However though, the thing is with the actual the character space is that if you land on your own, character spaces. Like, for example, if I was gonna land on my own character space, you know, with the toad icon character space, that actually gives me 5 extra coins. So yeah, that seems pretty cool though. Especially noticeable about the fact that, well, it wasn't until whenever we get onto the last 5 turn events, which I'll show that off at some point in the future. So anyways, here we go with this next minigame, Bulldozers. I think this is one of the first ever minigames I actually played back in the day. Break obstacles with your hammer to open a path for the ball to roll to the goal. So yeah, basically you have to get rid of those little, you know, pegs and all that stuff though, until you let the ball manage to roll all the way down to the bottom of some sort of like a pinball machine. So yeah, you probably get the idea about the objective on this. So, oh yeah, something's worth mentioning for this point as well is the fact that in the Japanese version of Mario Party 6, that you do realize is the fact that in the English version of Mario Party 6, it doesn't matter if it's either on the PAL version or the NTSC American version, that he realizes that the Brighton and Twyla does not have voiceovers in the English version of the game, but it does on the Japanese version, which can be subbed up as like, hi, or anything else like that. I do apologize for that terrible pronunciation with the Brighton and Twyla's voice in the Japanese version, but at least you do obviously know what I'm going to be saying for this point, so there it goes. Into the pipe down you go, and, well, we simply win regardless of such. But yeah, that's as far as I can say. Oh yeah, there's also new forms of the blue, like colored orbs, which actually functions as a signature or specific orbs on certain boards. Like, we do know one of them for sure in this board in particular, which appears to be Boo Away Orb, which kind of functions the same thing as Boo Pendant from Mario Party 3 and Gadlight from Mario Party 4, and even, well, particularly those two items in particular, the Boo Away Orb, which it can only be accessed if you manage able to go into this board along with Castaway Bag, which that actually managed able to scare off Pink Boo. That's all that does, basically. Assuming if these computer players are trying to steal your star or coins, for that matter. So it can be pretty useful, though. Especially noticeable that if you really want to win certain boards in Mario Party 6, which I'll try my best to able to do it, much like the forms of the past Mario Party games for sure, because I do definitely know Definitely Duck has managed able to get all the victories in Mario Party 1. Sylvester already won all 6 boards in Mario Party 2, and also Sonic managed to win, let's just say, 12 boards in Mario Party 3 if you count the Battle Royale maps, or oh jeez, that particular Super Shroom Orb is actually really expensive, so I might as well go through, you know, the regular mushroom as it is, and it's a good thing I got myself a pretty good number dice roll-wise, and because of that, not only do I able to get myself my next star, but also get myself my first visit to Pink Boo. So yeah, that seems a pretty cool and understandable way. Of course, the Pink Boo event does not usually get a thing in, well, let's just say one of those 4 boards in particular, which I'll discuss on those in the future. So, oh hey, Pink Boo. So basically, much like the previous games, you do have the ability to able to steal some coins and some stars. However, there's a big difference this time around, is that we're going back into Mario Party 2 all the way up to Mario Party 4, when it comes to forms of trying to steal coins, because now you can actually still need to pay 5 coins to able to steal coins. However though, for stealing stars this time around, is that it actually costs about 40 coins, as opposed to 30 coins from Mario Party 5, along with Super Mario Party, but I do definitely know it's going back to 50 coins until Mario Party Superstars for the Switch, so yeah, that's that. And yeah, that's basically how this goes, basically. Or speaking of such though, unlike, you know, Mario Party 1 all the way up to Mario Party 4, including, you know, Mario Party Superstars, that's gonna come up until next month, basically it's the fact that it goes back onto like 50 coins to steal a star from Boo, so it's Speaking of such though, here's the forms of another one of those orb events, which appears to be the chemic orb. And basically, rather than just trying to shuffle these orbs this time around, because instead, they actually transform specific character spaces into something like replacement ones. So yeah, that seems kind of cool. So yeah, that's pretty much about it. Slot Trot. Kind of an interesting minigame, so team up with a partner and run along the wheels to match the symbols at the top of the screen. Earn 3 points to win. So this minigame will make a comeback in Mario Party the Top 100. So just want to classify that for the sake of that reference all over again. And let's begin. Sometimes I'll have to admit though right away is that some of these computer players might act out pretty idiots in this minigame sometimes, because I swear to Christ, I was on the actual specific panel at the moment, but then next thing you notice is that my teammate is actually gone pretty wonky right here, especially noticeable it gets like a few moments delayed. So yeah, that's the only reason why I probably wouldn't like to able to go on hard difficulty, but the thing is though, I'm probably not gonna get super wrecked or anything else like that, which that's the only troublesome I can think of, so oh jeez, this is not looking that good. Especially that, well, it's just that my teammate is actually doing pretty much an idiot on that, so but at least we got 1 point though, at least. But at least we still need to get another point somehow. Come on, Boo. Come on. Come on, hurry up. Boo! Boo, what are you doing? Oh, Boo, you idiot. Ah. At least we got one of those points, but still. That's just dumb. Hey, no wonder why having to deal with these computer players sometimes, I must admit.